Sometimes the biggest, most life-changing ideas aren't these super complicated theories. Nope, they often come in a single, simple sentence. And today, we're going to dive into one of those ideas, one that's so powerful it could literally reshape your whole world.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Who's really building your life? Who are the architects? I mean, it seems like a simple question, right? We'd all like to think, well, it's me, my choices, my willpower. But what if it's not just you? What if there are other designers in the room with you, quietly editing the blueprint?
And that's what brings us to the core of this whole explainer. It's this one powerful piece of wisdom. Be wise when you let people into your life. Because we become who we hang out with. I mean, it's so direct, isn't it? But the implications, they are huge. So let's spend the next few minutes really unpacking what this means for you and me.
All right, first up, you are your circle. Let's break down this whole principle of influence. What does it actually mean when we say we become the people we're around?
Just let that phrase sit there for a second. We become who we hang out with. This isn't just some cute, catchy saying. It's really an observation about how we humans work. Think about it. We're kind of like sponges, right? We're constantly, and often without even realizing it, just soaking up the qualities of the environment we're in.
And you know what? There's actually a name for this whole thing. It's called the principle of social influence. It's that invisible force at work, the process where we start picking up the habits, the mindsets, even the emotional vibes of the people we see all the time. It's not some kind of magic, it's just psychology.
And just think about how this all happens, this unseen transfer. The stuff that comes from your circle, their habits, their way of thinking, their energy, it doesn't just stay over there with them. Oh no. Over time, it kind of seeps in and becomes your reality. It starts to mold your routines, your entire outlook on life, even the kind of vibe you put out into the world.
Okay, so this isn't just some abstract theory, right? This is happening in your life, in my life, right now. So for this next bit, let's get personal. Let's hold up a mirror to ourselves and do a little reflection.
Okay, let's do a quick exercise. Right now, I want you to think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Could be family, friends, people at work, your partner, whoever. Just get those 5 people in your head.
All right, got them? Now, for each of those 5 people, what are their main traits? What's the one thing that really defines them? Like, what's the first word that pops into your head when you think of them? Are they super driven, hilarious, maybe a little critical?
Now zoom out a little and look at the group as a whole. What's the vibe? Are they generally ambitious, always pushing for more? Or are they kind of complacent, happy with the status quo? Do your conversations feel optimistic and full of possibility, or do they usually drift into pessimism and complaining?
And here's the kicker. This is the most important part. How do you see those same traits, that ambition or complacency, that optimism or pessimism, popping up in you, in your own thoughts, your own actions? I think if you're really honest with yourself, that connection, it's probably a lot clearer than you think.
Okay, so that little exercise can be pretty eye-opening, right? And maybe even a little uncomfortable. But that's good, because it leads us to the most important part of all of this, what you're going to do about it. Which brings us to our last section, the art of choosing.
So we come right back to that main piece of advice. Be wise. And listen, this isn't about being judgmental or suddenly cutting people out of your life. Not at all. It's just about recognizing that your time and your energy are 2 of your most valuable assets, and deciding who gets to share them with you, well, that's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make.
So what does being wise actually look like? How do you do it? Well, you can kind of break it down into a simple 3-step process. Step 1 is just to acknowledge it. Accept that this influence is a real thing. Step 2, assess the impact. Take a real, honest look at your circle and ask, are these people lifting me up or kind of holding me back? And finally, step 3, based on that honest look, you choose consciously. You start curating your circle with real intention.
Because at the end of the day, it all boils down to this one powerful truth. Your circle is your future. Simple as that. The conversations you're having today, they're shaping the thoughts you'll have tomorrow. The standards of the people around you, they become your standards. In a very, very real sense, your friends are a sneak peek of the person you're on your way to becoming.
And that really just leaves us with one last question for you to take with you. Because when you're choosing your circle, you're not just choosing who to hang out with. You're choosing your future self. So the real question is, who are you choosing to become?